Earlier today, Joel Rubin, who's a former State Department officer, served during the invasion of Iraq, and also knew Ambassador Stevens very well, and Ambassador Mark Ginsburg, former ambassador to Morocco and White House Middle East advisor. Joel, I want to start with you, and I know you've been waiting around patiently after everything that you've heard, and especially given the fact that Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said there is no valid reason for the type of violence that we have seen, especially given the reasoning that we have now been informed about this obscure film that started the type of murderous riot that took the lives of these 4 Americans. What should it tell us back here at home about the instability that exists in Libya and the fact that they can be inspired in such a fashion to cause a murderous riot by such an obscure film?
It tells us that the situation is very volatile, and it reminds us of how we do need to follow Chris's example of religious tolerance, of promoting democracy, of promoting freedom. Chris exemplified the mindset of building bridges and fixing problems. And there are problems and challenges, but we need to make sure that we're clear-headed on where the attack came from and not to demagogue as well an entire society. Chris would not like that, and it's important that we follow his example.
Mark, this is such a tragedy, but diplomatically going forward, how does America work with Libya moving forward, and also now in what we're seeing, the violence, the protests that are taking place in Egypt, and the attention that we need to bear?
The government in Libya is still very fragile, and we have to keep working with it, because in the end it's going to survive and democratize based on institution building. But Thomas, I want to reserve something to say about Egypt. Mr. Morsi, the president of Egypt, has an obligation not only to the United States but also to his own people. He cannot have it both ways. He cannot expect the American taxpayer to bail him out by giving him billions of dollars while his government stands on the sidelines while demonstrators attack the U.S. Embassy. Either he speaks out and against this type of violence, or he should be held accountable by the American people for not doing enough to stop this.
Not only attacking the U.S. Embassy, but obviously ripping up the American flag there and replacing them with Islamic banners, and doing so for the American taxpayer to see. It's quite a contradiction in terms of what we need to do going forward. Mark, thank you so much. Joel Rubin, thank you. I appreciate you guys patiently waiting around with me through the hour. That's going to wrap things up for me. Thanks for your time. I'll see you